YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Bananas Epic Gaming. And today on Bananas Epic Gaming, we are doing another series. Series is going to be a yearly thing. I normally do a NFL mock at the end of the season, but I'm going to do a early mock at the beginning of the season. So this is going to be the first year and the first mock of two. A way too early 2024 NFL mock draft. This is as of right now, August 26, 2023. And the next mock will be on after the Super Bowl. The day after the Super Bowl is when I'll start recording it. And I'll come out maybe post-combine right before WrestleMania, because the mock and the WrestleMania predictions will come out around the same time. So that being said, let's get into it. And the Arizona Cardinals are projected to have the number 1 and the number 2 pick. And for the sake of this video, I am torn, because I like Kyler Murray, but also if he doesn't come back as good as he is, I don't see Arizona taking a trade down, because Caleb Williams is a generational talent, and Caleb Williams could change the face of the franchise. Now, what we could do is we could draft Caleb Williams, and we go over here to look at Kyler Murray's contract. If we were to start him this season in 2023, when he comes back, he plays, he does good, and he gets enough interest, we can make him a post-June 1st trade. Or, if we want to sit Caleb Williams for a year, he'll still be a $13 million post-June 1st trade. So if the Arizona Cardinals do draft Caleb Williams, I see Kyler Murray getting traded. And I at least want a first-round pick. Or multiple seconds. A first-round pick and a third for Kyler Murray. At least that. I don't want to get the Isaiah Simmons type of trade where we only got a 7th for him. I want a first. If we are trading Kyler Murray, who is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC, not the NFL, he's maybe top 15, but he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. I would only put maybe Jalen Hurts and you can make a case for Dak Prescott ahead of him. Every other quarterback in that division, and Justin Fields. Those are the top 3, not in that order. Those are the only 3 quarterbacks that I could think of at the top of my head that are worth it. So, for the sake of this video, Arizona is staying at pick 1. They are taking quarterback Caleb Williams from USC, and we're going to sit him for a year, let him learn the playbook, and he'll probably get in if Kyler Murray gets hurt again. And if we gain enough interest for Kyler Murray, I can see us trading Kyler Murray, and Caleb Williams will have the keys to the kingdom. And we will pick up the 5th-year option, so we will still have 4 years with Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams to Arizona. Now Arizona's back on the clock, and we need a wide receiver. 100%. We got Hollywood Brown, we got Rondell Moore, Zach Pascal, Michael Wilson, Williams, whatever the heck that quarterback's name is that we drafted this year. Wide receiver, I'm sorry. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best quarterback prospect that I've seen in a long time. And he is really, really tall. 6'4", 205 as of right now. And pairing him with Caleb Williams, that will make the Arizona Cardinals fan base really happy, because we got a generational quarterback, and we got him a true number 1 receiver. If we can re-sign Hollywood Brown, we can have him, Hollywood Brown, and we could have Rondell Moore and Trey McBride. Arizona Cardinal fans will be sitting pretty happy. So obviously, I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver from The Ohio State University at pick 2. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they need a quarterback. I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield. I don't think you're really the guy. I know Baker was one of my top-rated quarterbacks when I did the mock originally for his class, but Drake May is going to be the pick here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to hopefully find their guy. Drake May is a decent quarterback. I would say he is the second best quarterback in the draft, and Quentin Ayers is right behind him. Then Bo Nix and Michael Phoenix Jr. are like day 2 picks in my opinion. So Drake May to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the LA Rams. I can see the LA Rams going one or two ways, or 3 ways. They could go DB in Kool-Aid McKinstry, or they can get an offensive lineman, and they could build that O-line up, and when they eventually get their new quarterback, he's protected. So the LA Rams, I'm going to have them go offensive tackle Ula Fashanu from Penn State. The Rams get a franchise left tackle that they could hopefully build that offensive line around, and when they eventually do get their quarterback, if it's the second round, if it's the following year, they can protect him. So Fashanu is easily the pick here. Now, the Indianapolis Colts, they need a tackle, so Fashanu going to the Rams, our pick before them, that stings them a little bit, but they are going to take Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia. You're going to get Anthony Richardson, another weapon. You have Michael Pittman, who I am extremely high on right now as of August 26, 2023. You have Jonathan Taylor. You have Alec Pierce. You have weapons, and now you're going to get a big body tight end for your franchise QB that you drafted in 2023. Bowers is my number 1 ranked tight end as of August 2023. So this is easily an easy pick. They could go Jared Versailles here as well, but Brock, I expect him to have a really good pro day and a really good combine. So Brock Bowers, tight end, Georgia, goes to Indianapolis. Now the Washington Commanders. Some people are really high on Sam Howell. I'm sorry. See, I'm not high on him. That's why I messed up his name. This is where I think a trade could happen for Jared. And I'm looking at the teams that are in need. The Falcons are going to be a team that everybody's going to try to jump right here. And I'm going to have the Chicago Bears make a trade. The Chicago Bears are going to make a trade up to get a D-end. Because that's their number 1 need. And they are in a window where Green Bay is not going to be that good. And the Vikings are near the end of Cousins' run. And the Lions are only getting better. So the Chicago Bears are going to be the team that makes the trade. Let's see. With the Washington Commanders. Now, see, that's not even enough. That's too much, according to the mock draft database. So Chicago, a 2010 first. I'm trying to think what could. It's got to be a 2010 first and a 2021 first, 100%. Could I do a 2020? Yeah, I'll do a 2022 second. I don't like using second round picks, but I'll use a 2022 second, a first this year, and a fourth this year for pick 10 and the first round next year. Let's give them pick 5. No? Okay, so I'm trying to see, like, make this a somewhat fair, evener trade. Okay, I'll give them the 6. Yeah, I'll give them the 6. Okay, so the Chicago Bears moved up, and they're going to take Jared Versees. I probably butchered that name. I'll learn it more as the year goes on. But they are in a division where you play in the North. And the Bears have their franchise quarterback. And Chicago is hungry for a team to start winning in the NFL. Because this team has been mediocre at best throughout a long time. So they don't have to worry about moving up for any big players on the offense. But Jared is one of my top defensive players. He is arguably my top defensive player in the entire draft this year, upcoming year in 2024. And they don't got to get a wide receiver, so they don't got to worry about that. Because I'm looking at their defensive ends, and they don't have one that really sticks out. They have Unique Ngakwe, but you need more than one guy on that D-line, and they don't really have anybody that stands out to me. So with our first pick in the first round, pick 6, Chicago Bears select Jared Versees, edge rusher, Florida State. Now the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are a team in need of an edge rusher and a quarterback. The only quarterback that I would consider taking here is Quentin Ayers, and that's what I'm going to do, I think. Because I don't trust Desmond Ridder. He is the weakest quarterback in his division. And they also need an edge rusher, too. Now, Quentin Ewers is the quarterback in my mind to take, because he won't be here. If he falls to the Commanders, he won't be here. And then they could maybe take Bo Nix. I'm going to go look on the community page for the Falcons and who people think they should take, because I'm torn between Quinnen and Dallas Turner. Yeah, I'm going to go Dallas Turner. I'm going to give Desmond Ridder one more year, because I think this will be a better free agent class next year. Because I'm looking on their page, and they want to go D tackle. looking more and more. You know what? Yeah, Dallas Turner is the pick here. You get the second edge rusher on my board at pick 7 as good value. That's exactly where he should be going. He's in the top 10. Because another Alabama Crimson Tide member is going to make a team really good. Now, the Green Bay Packers. I think the Green Bay Packers are going to stick with Jordan Love for another year or so. And they are going to try to give him all the stuff he needs. Their number one need is offensive line, and especially if David Bakhtiari leaves, Joe Alt, Notre Dame should be the pick. Easy pick right there. Protect your quarterback. Now, the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, J.C. Latham. I'm going to say J.C. is the pick here. You have Will Levis. You have your franchise quarterback. You have Traylon Burks and DeAndre Hopkins. You have Derrick Henry. Build the offensive line so King Henry can run and you can protect your quarterback. So J.C. Latham is easily my pick at pick 9. Now is the Washington Commanders, and Quinnen errors fell right to them, and that is going to be their pick. Sam Howell is not that good of a quarterback, in my opinion. He'll probably play for a game or two, and if and when the Commanders start to suck, Quinnen's going to take over, and I think Quinnen is a tremendous upgrade for that team. And that is considered a B because he was ranked 18. What did the Packers get? They got an A. Okay, so now we're back to the Las Vegas Raiders. They have Jimmy Garoppolo, a quarterback. The quarterback's gone. Tackles are gone. DBs. Now, here is where it's going to get tricky. Do they go Kalen King, or do they go Kool-Aid McKinstry? Kool-Aid McKinstry is my number 1 DB on the board, and the Raiders get a steal here, in my opinion. Now the Chicago Bears are back on the clock, and they can take Emeka Ejigba, wide receiver from the Ohio State University. You get Justin Fields, another weapon. And now you're really competing in the NFC North. The Denver Broncos, Bronco Country, let's ride. I'm sorry, too soon. They need a D lineman. They need help in the trenches. I have the Broncos going Mason Smith, defensive line from LSU. The New England Patriots, after the Pittsburgh pick, I'm going to take a little break because I got to use the bathroom. But the New England Patriots are on the clock. And tackle, wide receiver, edge, tight end. JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State. He's my top 5 edge rushers in the class. There's no offensive lineman I would take here. There's no tight ends worth taking right now, especially this high. And they could use a wide receiver, but I have JT ranked higher than Malik. And the offensive lineman, it speaks for itself. So, JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State is the pick. Pittsburgh Steelers. They need linebackers. They need safeties, and it's easy. Kalen King. You're going to pair him up with Joey Porter, and you have 2 really good CBs. I believe, as of right now, they still have Minkah Fitzpatrick. So your secondary is deadly, and you're going to have a deadly secondary. to go up against Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and who's the other one? Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say the other guy's name. But Kalen King, defensive back from Penn State, is a steal of a pick. And it's not a steal of a pick because it's dead even because he's ranked 15. And I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. And now the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. And every year there's one quarterback that appears out of nowhere on everybody's big boards. And this year I think it's going to be Bo Nix. Bo Nix, he has a good skill set and he's talented. He doesn't have to start right away. If Kirk Cousins can stay another year, he can learn behind Kirk Cousins, learn the playbook. In the 2024-2025 season, that is his role and the backup. In 2025-2026, Bo Nix can take the keys to the kingdom. So Bo Nix to the Minnesota Vikings. And that's my only C+. And now the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans originally had 2 first-round picks. They traded one of their first-round picks to us to get their guy, Will Anderson, this past draft. And I'm going to have them take Malik Neighbors, wide receiver from LSU. You're going to get a number 1 wide receiver for your franchise quarterback in C.J. Stroud. Yeah, I hope he doesn't do that good. So we can have the number 1 and number 2, because I think we're going to be the worst team this year in Arizona. And it sucks to say that as a Cardinals fan, but I see the writing on the walls. And if we do, like I said earlier, Kyler Murray's gone. He's gone within 2 years. If we draft Caleb and Marvin, I can see him maybe going to Detroit, maybe going to the Giants. Not the Giants, the Saints, maybe going to... No, the team needs him, really. Wow. Maybe going to the Raiders or the Falcons next year. But that's just me personally. So Malik Neighbors, back to him. He's going to go to the Houston Texans and be CJ's number 1. The Los Angeles Chargers, they need help on the D-line. They need to get younger at running back, but there's no running back that I want to take right here because they need help in that D-line. You need to get after Patrick Mahomes. You need to get after Russell Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo. So Newton from Illinois, easy pick. Now, the New Orleans Saints are on the clock, and this is another team that it has Derek Carr as their quarterback. You could do Rome, or you could do Cooper DeJean, and I'm going to have them go Cooper DeJean for the, what is it, pick 19? Get younger at safety, build that defense, because they need help. Now, the team that is going to surprise some people this year, the New York Giants. The Giants, they need help at wide receiver because Sterling Shepard's getting old. And I'm going to have them go Ryan Odejin. I think I said that right. Odejin, how do you say his last name? Ryan from wide receiver from Washington to the New York Giants should be the easiest pick that I make, and it is going to. One of the easiest picks. The Giants get their number 1, and they get another weapon for Danny Dimes. The Detroit Lions are on the clock, and they need defensive back help. The D-line, wide receiver. They could use another wide receiver. And Xavier Lester, defensive back out of Georgia, is the pick. They're gonna continue to build that defense, and they will nab a wide receiver in the second. They could go or the third. Jacob Crowning is somebody to watch out for. I think Jacob Crowning is going to be a really good player in the NFL. Now, the Miami Dolphins protect Tua at all costs. Devon Jackson, interior offensive line from the Ohio State University. That's the pick. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are back on the clock for the first time. And Leonard Taylor, D-line. They're going to build that defensive line, and they're going to run that division. The New York Jets. Now, Cedric Van Pan would be a good pick here, but Kingsley from BYU, you need to protect Aaron Rodgers, and that's what they do with this pick, because they traded a lot for Aaron Rodgers. And this could be the Green Bay pick if Aaron Rodgers plays, I believe, 50% of the snaps? 70% of the snaps? So, defensive line could be something else that they could be looking at in like round 2 and 3. But they're going to go offensive tackle. The Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks, Braylon Trice, edge rusher from Washington. That's an easy pick. You're going to continue to build that defense again. You're going to make that defense scary like it used to be back when I was in high school. The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock. Denzel Burks, the next DB on the big board, and he goes to Baltimore. The Cowboys. They're going to stay in Texas. Xavier Worthy. You're going to get a Texas boy. You're going to bring in the Texas Longhorn fans even more. You're going to stay in Texas, and you should take Xavier. Give Dak Prescott, Xavier, and CeeDee Lamb. Then Brandon Cooks. Those would be your starting 3 receivers right there. Because the Buffalo Bills are on the clock, and they need wide receiver and D-line. So with what the Cowboys adjusted, that hurts. Because now there's no wide receiver worth taking in the first. You go to D-line. Michael Holland Jr. You can get a younger, more affordable person to build up that front defensive line, and Michael Hall Jr. is a key piece of that Ohio State from what I've seen of him play, and the Buffalo Bills would be lucky to have him. The 49ers are on the clock, and if I am the 49ers, because they just got rid of Trey Lance, your starting quarterback is Brock Purdy, the Arizona native. Protect him at all costs. Mims from Georgia, good pick, decent lineman. You get what you need. You're protecting your franchise quarterback for the next 5 to 10 years. Good pick. Now, one of my best friends, Anthony's team. Anthony, I'm going to try to do right by you with this pick. The Cincinnati Bengals. They are a good team, but they can't seem to get over that hump. And to nicely put it, I'm going to do something that might surprise some of you. I'm going to give Joe Shiesty another weapon. I'm going to give Joe Burrow, Teron Sanders, tight end from Texas. Because you got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins, you got Tyler Boyd, you got Joe Mixon as of right now. Get him a big, young tight end that he could grow with as a talent. And that's what you do with this pick. I'm just going to double check to make sure that they didn't. Who's their number one tight end? as of right now, because I can't remember it at the top of my head. And I can hear Anthony screaming at me that it's an obvious name. The Bengals' #1 tight end as of right now. Oh, Irv Smith Jr. and Drew Sample. Yeah, Sanders is an upgrade, 100%. And now the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles, they are notorious, no pun intended, for taking Bulldogs. The question is, what do they need? They could go wide receiver, but they don't really need to. They can go offensive line. Cooper Beebe. They could go the Bulldog and Cedric Van Pran. I'm going to have them go Cooper Beebe, offensive tackle from Kansas State. And now the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to do this one for giggles. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes can make anybody into a star. We always have a player that falls out of the first round, and that's going to be Robinson and Stackhouse. I'm going to have the Kansas City Chiefs, who I have winning the Super Bowl, take Jacob Crowning, wide receiver from the University of Arizona. This guy is good. He's quick, and he's an all-around good guy. And this would be the shocker of the draft. So Jacob Crowning to Kansas City. And we're going to go over the draft. Arizona gets Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., and we will more than likely trade Kyler Murray the following season. Try to get a first-round pick, or we'll trade him mid-season and try to get a first-round pick and start Caleb Williams. Or if he gets hurt, start Caleb Williams and trade him for anything. Maybe a little haul. Atlanta Falcons and Dallas Turner. Oh, but Arizona Marvin Harrison Jr. This could be our next best wide receiver. Because we are notorious, no pun intended, for having great wide receivers. Fitzgerald and Quan Bolden. We had Hopkins for a little while. Let's make it 3 for 3 for drafting wise and 4 for 4 being keeper wise. I'm not counting Michael Floyd because that dude is booty cheeks. Our Ravens, Denzel Burke. Defensive back help, like I said. Michael Hall Jr., D-line help. You have the Panthers who don't have a first. Chicago Bears, Jared and Emeka. You get your number 1 wide receiver and you get arguably the best pass rusher in the draft. You get a number 1 tight end for the next 10 years for Joe Burrow. The Browns don't have a first-round pick. They traded that to the Texans, and the Texans traded theirs to ours. The Cowboys, you get a wide receiver, a home state boy from Texas. Denver Broncos, you get a big, meaty defensive lineman. Like Big E is a big, meaty man. And that is what the Broncos are going to be getting with that guy if they get him. You get Lassiter for the Lions. For the Green Bay Packers, you build an offensive line. The Green Bay Packers could also get the first-round pick for the Jets. And if that happens, I can see them going Robinson, the edge rusher. Malik for the Texans. You get Brock Bowers for the Colts. Jacksonville Jaguars, Leonard Taylor. You get another big guy in the middle of the defense, Jacob Crowning. I did that because Kansas City can make anybody seem into a 5-star talent, especially with Patrick Mahomes. Raiders, you get Kool-Aid, my number one DB. Chargers, you get a big defensive lineman who's one of my top D linemen. Rams, you get an offensive lineman for the Dolphins. Vikings, you reach a little on Bo Nix, but like I said, everybody reaches. There's at least 1 or 2 reaches in every draft. Patriots, you get one of the best D linemen. Saints, you get a strong safety. Jets, you get an offensive lineman, but that could turn into a pick for the Packers, I believe. So, wide receiver for the Giants. Fielder, you get an O lineman. Defensive back for Pittsburgh. Memes for the 49ers. Seahawks, you get Trice. Drake May for the Bucks. Titans, you get a offensive lineman. And the Commanders, you get your quarterback of the future. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Tap that little bell on that YouTube app so you guys never miss an upload. And I'll see you guys on the next one. If you're just going to watch the mock drafts, I'll see you guys in February, March. Take it easy.